A jittery day of trading, a more than 200-point sell-off, and the Dow falling below the 15,000 level. The catalyst? A batch of tepid economic reports. On the jobs front, payroll processor ADP said American businesses added only 135,000 jobs in May. That was much less than forecast. Many investors are now preparing for a disappointing jobs number on Friday. That's when the Labor Department releases its May employment report. Also today, orders at American factories rose only 1% in April, also below expectations. And the message from the Federal Reserve's Beige Book was also disappointing. The survey of regional economic activity described the recovery as modest and moderate. So not much to inspire stock buying. The Dow tumbled 216 points. The Nasdaq lost almost 44. The S&P was down 22 points. Here's Bob Pisani with more on today's market action.
Traders are confused. Is the job market improving or not? The markets were volatile again today, this time on signs that the jobs market may not be as strong as some hoped. A report on private sector employment by ADP was weaker than expected, as was an employment gauge released as part of a survey of purchasing managers in the services industry. That's causing some to consider lowering their estimates for Friday's critical May jobs report. All this is confusing because Fed officials have been talking about tapering their purchases of bonds as the job market improves. So which is it? Is it getting better or not? So to add to this confusion, we got the Fed's Beige Book today. And Fed officials sounded a bit more optimistic about the economy, noting gains in auto sales and real estate and bank lending, and also noting hiring gains in several districts. So what do traders do when they're confused? Well, they lighten up on their positions, and look what happened. The Dow is down in the last 2 days. This is the worst two-day losing streak since November. If that wasn't enough to worry about, the markets are again being held hostage to the dollar-yen trade. After weakening for almost 7 straight months, the yen has been strengthening the past 2 weeks and did so again today. This is a big trade. Many borrow cheap yen to buy assets elsewhere, like stock in the U.S. But a stronger yen makes that trade more risky. So some are starting to unwind the deal. This may be the biggest investment for many traders in years. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Bob Pisani at the New York Stock Exchange.